Now our topic is alkaline earth metals. So where these are located? Just beside of 1A group elements. That is S block elements. So S block elements. Okay. So that is, so actually in our NCERT book, there is S block element chapter boys. So that S block element is the combination of both alkali metals and alkaline earth metals. Last week we completed alkali metals. Now today onwards, we are going towards that alkaline earth metals. A small chapter, my dear boys. I think 3 or 4 days is sufficient for us. Okay. So listen carefully. So every day, so because no doubt I am trying to explain my level best. So I am expecting from your side also your level best. Okay. So thank you, my dear boys. I am starting the concepts. See here. So that is alkaline earth metals, and nothing but in your periodic table, very second group of the elements. Very second group, that is in our S block elements. So those, that is why these are called as group 2 elements. In old days, it is taken as second A group elements. It is second A group elements. So these are commonly called as alkaline earth metals. So see here what happened. What are those elements? In our periodic table, the second element, second group elements are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. These are the 6 elements in your the second vertical column. So in this group, in these elements, radium is the radioactive element. That's why its chemistry is negligible. So radioactive elements. So who discovered this radium? Radium was first discovered by Madame Curie. Discovered this. So Madame Curie discovered this element, and from where? So it is separated from pitchblende. It is separated from pitchblende. It is a ore of thorium, boys. Okay. So that is generally you there. Radium is collected. Radium is collected. Okay. Now, what are the atomic numbers of these elements? Atomic number of beryllium is 4n. So add 8. That is 8 plus 4, 12. Magnesium 12 ra. One more 8. So that is 20 and calcium. So 18 ra. 38 and. So one more 18, boys. So 8 plus 8, 16. That is 56 is barium, boys. Now it is 32 and add 32. That is 88 is the atomic number of radium. 88 is the atomic number of radium. What are these 8, 8, 18, 18, 32? These are the number of elements in those periods. Just add number of elements in the periods. Okay. So 4, 8, 4, 12, 20, 38, 56, 88. These are the atomic numbers of this second period element, second group elements. Okay. Now, what are the electronic configurations? Beryllium 4 ra, 1s2, 2s2. That means first orbit contains 2 electrons, 2s2. Second orbit also contains 2 electrons. That is why it is 2 and 2 ra, 1s2, 2s2. Next, it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 ra. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. That means, so 2, 2, one more 8 is added, 2, 8, 2 ra. Now it is 2, 8, 8, 2 and one more 8 is added. Next 18 added, boys. 2, 8, 18, 8, 2 1. 18, 8, 2 ra. Next one more 18 is added. Now 8, 18, 18, 8, 2 1. 32 is added. That is 2, 8, 18, 32, 18, 8, 2 1. So these are the number of electrons, boys. It is the, so first orbit contains 2 electrons, second orbit contains 8 electrons, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, like this. So in everywhere, outermost shell contains 2 electrons, boys. Outermost shell contains 2 electrons, that too in s orbital. That's why it is general outermost electronic configuration is NS2 and general outermost electronic configuration is NS2. The differentiating electron entered into the s orbital, that's why this group contains s block elements. Now all these elements, boys, all these 7 elements are generally called as alkaline earth metals. All these elements are called as alkaline earth metals. Why, sir? Why these elements are considered as alkaline earth metals? So except beryllium, remaining elements, boys. So neglect that radium. So magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium. So these elements, hydroxides and oxides. These elements, hydroxides and oxides, are strong basic in nature, and also soluble in water. Soluble in water. That means a base which is soluble in water is called as alkali. That is why this is strong alkali, boys. Strong, just like in previous S block, that is 1A group element. But these elements are extracted, these hydroxides, these elements are extracted from earth crust. So available in earth crust and earth's crust. So available in earth's crust, that's why these elements are called as alkaline nature, available from earth crust, that's why these are called as alkaline earth metals. So that is why these are called as alkaline earth metals. Except beryllium, remaining metals, hydroxides and oxides, are very, very strong basic, which are soluble in water, that is strong alkali, available from earth crust. So these are called as alkaline earth metals. And now, one by one, now we are discussing about physical properties of these elements. So now physical properties and general physical properties. Physical properties. See, boys, one by one, sequentially we are going to take. Yes, Pardev, I am trying. First one, atomic size. Atomic size. No doubt, it is a group. In every group, from top to bottom, number of orbits around the nucleus increases. Therefore, atomic size, as usual, increases. No doubt. Here also, atomic size increases from top to bottom. Atomic size increases from top to bottom. Here also atomic size increases, but the size of 2A metal is less than that of corresponding 1A metal. So boys, in this chapter, in this topic, everywhere the property is expressed with respect to 1A. So when compared to 1A, is this more or less? So because both are S block elements, so that's why everywhere comparison is required. That is why, so atomic size also I am compared. So alkali metals, 1A group elements from top to bottom size increases, 2A group elements from top to bottom increases. But when compared to side by side elements, when compared to 1A group element, 2A group element has a little bit small in size. No doubt, from left to right in a period, atomic size decreases. So that is 1A is left side, 2A is right side. There's a no doubt something atomic size decreases because of increase in nuclear charge. Because of increase in nuclear charge, so 1A group elements have a little bit more size, 2A group elements have a little bit less size. So therefore, so atomic size of 2A metal is less than that of corresponding 1A metal. Please keep in mind, no doubt, every point is important. Every point is important. Okay, next point. Next point, that is density. Density. So what is density? Density is generally expressed with respect to density is equal to mass per volume. So directly proportional to mass, inversely proportional to volume. Okay. Now we are going to express the density of our alkali metals. This density is not in a regular order wise. See here, what is the order? So density order, that is calcium less than, magnesium less than, beryllium less than, strontium less than, that is barium less than, radium. So this is the order of density wise. See here, calcium has the least density. The density of calcium is very, very less. Why, sir? See here. So it has least density. Calcium has least density because see here, first one, volume is abnormally large. Actually, we expected something more volume, but abnormally more size range. That is from facts end. So that is why density is less. Because volume increases, density decreases. Next, at the same time, so vacant d orbitals are available and it has vacant d orbitals. It has vacant d orbitals. That means emptiness end. More is the emptiness, less is the mass. Less is the mass, less is the density. Because of that reason, so density of this magnesium, that is calcium, is less. At the same time, third point, that is interstitial voids. Interstitial voids are also large. Interstitial voids are also large. What are these interstitial voids? Now I am taking calcium atoms now, more in size, so like this voids. So this is the space. I am darkening this one. So this space is empty space. This dark one is empty space voids. This space is called as interstitial space. That space is called as interstitial space. The gap between the atoms. So also very less. That means emptiness is very less, very large. Yes. Emptiness is very large. That means even though volume is more, but that is hollow in condition. So that means normal mass is less, volume is more. Based on that, so calcium has least density. So its least density is due to these three factors. Its least density is due to these three factors. It is very, very important, boys. Okay. So please identify. Calcium has least density. So not a particular order. Density is differently possible because of their structures and conditions. So least density for calcium. So generally radon we don't consider any. So maximum for barium. So this is the order of density wise. See, very, very important point. One more. That means, so 2A metals are relatively more harder than 1A metals because of high metallic bond wise. So that means when compared to 1A metals and 2A metals, so hardness is more for 2A metals. So every point must cover concentrated with, that is covered, explained with respect to 1A. So Empty orbitals are there, vacant space is there. So hollow space is there. So more because of that hollowness, mass is less. Mass is less, density is less. Okay. So therefore, 1A, 2A metals have more harder than 1A metals. More harder than 1A metals. So please keep in mind, these are all very, very important points, boys. Next one. Metallic nature. So next property, that is metallic nature. Nothing but electropositivity. Third point, metallic nature or electropositivity, boys. Electropositive. No doubts, all these elements have general outermost electronic configuration NS2. These are ready to lose its valency 2 electrons and converts into +2 oxidation state. That means these metals ready to lose electrons and converts into positively charged ions. That means these are all highly electropositive in nature. More electropositive means more metallic nature. So therefore, so all these are more electropositive in nature. All these are more electropositive, but electropositivity of 1A metals is greater than that of electropositivity of 2A metals. That means 1A metals ready to lose 1 electron. So losing of 1 electron is easier than that of losing of 2 electrons. That means which one gets positive charge easily? That is 1A metals. That is why. So 1A metals, 1A elements are more metallic nature than 2A metals. That means electropositivity of 1A is more than that of 2A. No doubt these are highly electropositive, confirmed. But when compared to alkali metals, less in electropositivity. Okay. So therefore, electropositivity for 1A metals is greater than that of 2A. Electropositivity. Okay. Very, very important. 1A is greater than that of 2A. But more electropositive in nature. Generally more electropositive. But if compared with 1A, so 2A has less. If compared with 1A, 2A has less electropositivity. Electropositivity is nothing but metallic nature. Electropositivity is nothing but metallic nature. Next point, that is ionic radiation. Ionic radiation. So no doubt, boys, all these ready to lose its valency electrons. So converts into +2 oxidation state. Therefore, so their ionic radius also from top to bottom increases, just like ionic size. So just like atomic size, ionic radius also top to bottom increases. Therefore, order is Be +2 less than beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, and barium. So this is ionic radius, boys. This is ionic radius. Okay. So, but ionic radius of 1A is greater than that of 2A. Just like atomic size. Atomic size 1A is more than that of 2A. So similarly, ionic size also 1A greater than 2A. There it is +1, it is +2. More is the positive charge, small is the size. As positive charge increases, size of the ion decreases. As positive charge increases, size of the ion decreases. That is why. So ionic size of 1A is greater than 2A. So in particular 2A, this is the order, top to bottom. So that means top to bottom ionic radius increases. Top to bottom ionic radius increases. Okay. So that means atomic size and ionic size both top to bottom increases. Next point, that is melting and boiling points. So before going to take melting and boiling point, so that is okay. I'm taking melting and boiling points, please. So that is how much? That is fifth point, melting point and boiling point. Melting and boiling point of our second year group element. Boys, just now we completed. Second year group elements are relatively harder than first year group elements. More is the hardness, more is the melting and boiling points. That means when compared to first year group elements, second year metals have high melting and boiling points. First point, MP and BP of 2A greater than 1A. MP and BP of 2A is greater than 1A, corresponding 1A metals. Corresponding 1A metals. So this MP and BP depends upon particularly metallic bond. Metallic bond strength, it is better to go. So strength of the metallic bond, more is the metallic bond, more is the bond between the metal atoms. It is difficult to break. There is a more energy is required. There is a melting and boiling points are higher. Therefore, if strength of metallic bond is more, automatically melting and boiling points are more. So that metallic bond strength in 2A metals is greater than that of 1A metals. So see here, metallic bonds strength of 2A greater than 1A. Metallic bond strength. Why, sir? Why metallic bond strength for 2A is more? So generally metallic bond, what is that metallic bond? At the time of chemical bonding, metallic bond is generally expressed with respect to electron C model or electron gas model. So more is the number of free electrons. More electrons. There is a strong attractive force between the free electrons and cation of that particular ion. So that means more electrons means more metallic bond wise. So 1A metals, only 1 electrons are released. But 2A metals, 2 electrons are released. More is the number of free electrons, more is the attractive force. Therefore, the metallic bond in second year group elements is greater than that of first year group elements. So see here, so this metallic bond strength depends upon first point, that is size of the atom. Size of the atom. So in particularly inversely proportional to size boys. Size of the atom. And second one, number of electrons. Number of free electrons, boy, it is better. Number of free electrons directly proportional to free electrons. So we know size of alkali metal, that is 2A metal, is less than that of 1A. That's why more metallic nature, more metallic bond. Next, more number of free electrons are possible in case of second year group elements. That's why metallic bond strength is more. More is the metallic bond strength, more is the melting and boiling parts. That is why. So 2A group elements have high melting and boiling points than that of 1A metals. But in particular 2A group elements, the melting and boiling point order, values are not in a regular manner, not directly decreases, not directly increases. So why, sir? Why it is not regular order? Because every metal of second year group element has different internal crystal structures. Some are BCC structure, some are FCC structure, some are other structures depending on the situation. That means their internal crystal structures of our 2A group elements are mostly different. Metals have different structures. So that's why their melting and boiling points are not in a particular order. So see here, what is the order? So next point, melting point and boiling point of 2A metals not in a regular order due to different internal crystal structures. Due to different internal crystal structures. Okay. So what is that order? that is MP order. MP order boys, beryllium greater than, calcium greater than, strontium greater than, barium greater than, that is radium greater than magnesium. Next, boiling point order boys. Boiling point order is once again beryllium greater than, barium greater than, radium greater than, calcium greater than, strontium greater than magnesium. Strontium greater than magnesium. That means highest melting point and boiling point are applicable for beryllium. Least melting and boiling points are applicable for magnesium because of its internal structure. So it is not a regular order. Please keep in mind. Please keep in mind. So MP and BP order of our second A group elements are not in a regular order. So the order is like this. Almost. That means the metallic bond strength in beryllium is very, very high. So whatever it may be the structure, metallic bond is very, very high. That is why its melting and boiling points are very, very high. So therefore, this clearly explains the information about metallic bond strength. Next, that is sixth point, boys. That is electronegativity of these elements. Electronegativity of these elements. No doubt, in every group from top to bottom, size increases, electronegativity decreases. Here also same thing. That electronegativity is more for second A group element when compared to first A because of small size. Okay, so electronegativity from top to bottom decreases. Electronegativity from top to bottom decreases. So next, 1A electronegativity is less than that of 2A elements electronegativity. 2A elements electronegativity. That means, so because of small size, it is general concept. Next, ionization potential, boys. Ionization potential. Seventh property. Ionization potential or ionization energy, regular manner. So no doubt, top to bottom size increases. When size increases, ionization energy decreases. When size increases, ionization energy decreases. See here. So from top to bottom, atomic size increases, therefore ionization energy decreases. From top to bottom, atomic size increases, ionization energy decreases. But so ionization energy of 1A metals greater than that of 2A metals. Less than that of 2A metals. Ionization energy of 1A metals is less than that of 2A metals. Why, sir? 1A group elements have just NS1 outermost electronic configuration. 2A group elements have NS2 configuration. See, boys, S2 configuration, fulfilled configuration, something more stable configuration, and also more size. More nuclear charge. More is the nuclear charge. More is the attraction between nucleus and outermost electrons. Difficult to remove. That is a more ionization energy. At the same time, stability of the electronic configuration is little bit more. So that is why. So ionization energy of second A group elements is no doubt greater than that of first A group elements. No doubt. Okay. So next, see here. So here one ionization energy after losing this one electron. So octet configuration reached, boys. For what? 1A group elements, by losing one electron, easy to really reach octet configuration. Only one electron reach. But here, 2 electrons are there, boys. So here, first ionization energy is there, and also second ionization energy is there. 2 ionization energy is possible. No doubt, second ionization energy for every element is greater than that of first ionization energy. No doubt it is there. So second ionization energy of second A element is greater than that of first ionization energy of, so that is a 2A element. Everywhere second value is greater than that of first value. So we observe that means, for example, M is there. If it loses one electron, converts into M plus 1. So one more electron losing, that is M plus 2. It is the first ionization energy. It is the second ionization energy, boys. Second ionization energy. So, but this second ionization energy is almost double than that of first ionization energy of the same element. So that means second IP of 2A element is almost double than that of IP of, that is first IP. Same element. Almost double, boys. It is practically we observe. That means second ionization energy of same element, because second group element has 2 electrons in the outermost orbit. First electron releasing, first ionization energy, second electron, second ionization energy. So second ionization energy of second A group element is almost double than that of first ionization energy of same element. So that means very, very huge amount of energy is required. Even though it is very high, no doubt that second A group element loses that 2 second electron, always exhibit only +2 oxidation state, never exhibit +1 oxidation state. Even though second ionization energy is more for that is almost double than that of first A group. That is first ionization energy. So always, so second A group elements exhibit only +2 oxidation state. Only first oxidation state, that is +2 oxidation. That means the common oxidation state exhibited by second A group elements is only +2, +1 or +3. No other oxidation state is acceptable. So that is the one and only oxidation state exhibited by second A group elements is +2 only. +2 only. Okay. Now, second ionization energy. So comparison between 1A and 2A elements. No doubt, after losing one electron, it reaches 8 electronic configuration. But after losing first electron, it is not reached to 8 electronic configuration. The second ionization energy of 1A is more than that of second A. And therefore, second ionization energy of 1A metal is greater than that of second ionization energy of 2A metal. Second ionization energy of 2A metal, because it has, so already after losing one electron, it reached octet configuration. But after losing one electron, it is not reached one octet configuration. Still, it has one electron. After losing that one electron, it reached 8 electron configuration. That is why second ionization energy of 1A group elements should be greater than that of second A group element. But so ionization energies of generally more for second A group elements when compared to first A group elements. So it is very, very important, boys. So finally, the common oxidation state, the one and only oxidation state exhibited by our alkaline earth metals is +2 only. Next one, it is all about ionization energy. Boys, +1 not acceptable, +3 not acceptable, only +2 oxidation state is possible. Please keep in mind, second A group elements only exhibit +2 oxidation state. Next one, that is magnetic nature and color properties. See here, that is our second A group elements have general outermost electronic configuration NS2. That means there is s orbital having paired up electrons. So only paired electrons are there. Because of presence of these paired electrons, so our alkaline earth metals are diamagnetic in nature. Diamagnetic. Boys, having unpaired electrons are paramagnetic. So having pair of electrons, diamagnetic. Our alkaline earth metals are diamagnetic in nature and also colorless. Colorless. Only presence of unpaired electrons mainly gives colored concepts. Here, no unpaired electron, boys. So that's all are paired electrons. It is the diamagnetic in nature and colorless compounds. And colorless compounds. Next point. That is nature of compounds. Nature of compound. That means are the compounds of these elements ionic in nature, covalent nature? How? What is that? So that is nature of compounds, boys. That is our elements. What are those? Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium. So beryllium compounds are covalent in nature. Covalent. Even beryllium fluoride. BeF2 also covalent, boys. So all that means in our 1A group elements, lithium fluoride, LiF, first element. Except lithium fluoride, all the other compounds of lithium are covalent. But lithium fluoride is ionic. There is an exception case. But in this case, beryllium compounds all, even fluorocompounds. Every compound of beryllium is covalent in nature. Every compound of beryllium is covalent in nature. Next, calcium, strontium, and barium, and remaining these three elements, boys, all compounds are ionic in nature. All compounds of those three elements are ionic in nature. Now, this is magnesium, boys. Its compounds have little bit both covalent and ionic in nature. More ionic, boys. More ionic nature, less covalent nature is possible. More ionic nature, less covalent nature is possible. So therefore, automatically, all these compounds, so calcium, strontium, barium compounds are ionic. Beryllium compounds are that is covalent. Magnesium compounds are ionic in nature. Magnesium compounds are ionic in nature. So this is the nature of compounds, boys. This is the nature of compounds. Next concept, that is very, very, very important. Hydration energy and mobility of ions. Hydration energy and mobility of ions, boys. What is hydration energy? Already we explained that. Hydration energy, that means around an ion when it is dissolved, water molecules are surrounded. Because of that, because of attractive force between that water molecules and that particular ion, energy is released. That released energy is called as hydration energy. So that released energy is called as hydration energy. So now see here that hydration energy. So this hydration energy, boys, is inversely proportional to size. Less is the size, more is the hydration energy. Less is the size, more is the hydration energy. So no doubt, from top to bottom, that is the size increases, hydration energy decreases. From top to bottom, size increases, hydration energy decreases. Therefore, hydrated ions, size decreases. Less is the hydration, hydrated ion size decreases. So top to bottom, normal size increases, hydrated ion size decreases because of hydration decreases. Therefore, order of size of hydrated ions is order of size of hydrated ions is Be plus 2 aqueous greater than Mg plus 2 aqueous greater than Ca plus 2 aqueous greater than Sr plus 2 aqueous greater than Ba plus 2 aqueous. Therefore, see boys, order of size of hydrated ions. So therefore, least size ion, which one? That is barium ion. Barium ion has less in size in water, boys. So therefore, so mobility, small size ion has greater mobility. In solution, this is the small size ion. Therefore, it has more mobility. Therefore, so mobility of ions, mobility of ions is directly proportional to, so inversely proportional to size. Size of ion in solution. Size of ion in solution. Therefore, mobility order, boys. Mobility of ions order. So that has greatest mobility. This has least mobility. Therefore, Ba2 plus aqueous, Ba2 plus aqueous greater than Sr2 plus aqueous greater than Ca2 plus aqueous ion greater than Mg2 plus aqueous greater than Be2 plus aqueous. So these are the mobility of ions and mobility. Mobility of ions order any. So conductivity is directly proportional to mobility of ions. So conductivity is directly proportional to mobility of ions. Okay. So mobility means movement. So that is okay. So directly proportional mobility. Therefore, conductivity order also same, boys. Conductivity order of aqueous ions also same. So conductivity order also same, boys. That means, so beryllium salts have less conductivity, barium salts have more conductivity. So beryllium salts have less conductivity, barium has more conductivity. Where it is, see here, small in size, more is the mobility. So it is small in size, it is more mobility. More is the mobility, more is the conductivity. So more mobility, the same, no doubt. Economic reverse note cheyaleda. So very, very correct. Okay. So this is about, so hydration, boys, top to bottom. As the size increases, hydration decreases. So as the size increases, yes, only hydrated ions, not normal ions, boys. Solution contains hydrated ions. That's why we are following only hydrated ion size. Only we should follow a hydrated ion size. Okay. So in aqueous solution, always we are taking aqueous solution. Okay, boys. Top to bottom size increases, normal ion size increases, hydration decreases. That is why hydration power top to bottom decreases. Therefore, see here, that is beryllium. So BeCl2, 4 water molecules are possible. That means hydrated salts are possible because of more hydration. Next, MgCl2, 6H2O possible, hydrated salt of magnesium. Next, calcium, CaCl2, 6H2O is possible, hydrated salt is possible. Strontium, SrCl2, 6H2O is possible, hydrated salt is possible. Barium, BaCl2, 2H2O is possible, hydrated possible. Boys, so no doubt our alkaline earth metals, their salts are extracted from aqueous solutions. Corresponding hydrated salts are possible. It is not happen in 1A group elements. This is not happen in 1A group element because hydration energy is less for 1A group elements when compared to 2A group elements. Because 1A group elements have more size and 2A group elements have less size. Less is the size, more is the hydration. Therefore, hydration energy. See here. hydration energy of 2A metal ions greater than 1A metal ions. 2A metal ions greater than 1A metal. That means the degree of hydration for 2A metal ions is very, very high than that of 1A metal ions. So that is why only lithium sodium can form hydrated salt there. But here, every chemical, every metal can form hydrated ions. Every metal can form hydrated ion salts. So that means the degree of hardness, the degree of hydration is more for 2A than 1A. Degree of hydration is more for 2A than 1A. That is why. So most of the alkaline earth metal salts having hydration salts. So there is hydration is possible. So this is about mobility, hydration energy, mobility, and corresponding conductivity also, and conductivity. Okay. So these are all very, very important, boys. These are all very, very important. Next. Next point that is heat of atomization. Heat of atomization. What is this heat of atomization? That means that is the amount of heat energy required to break the metal into corresponding atoms. So boys, see here, these are the metal atoms. If you apply energy, so these atoms are going to break down into respective atoms. So for 1 mole, the energy required for that purpose is called as heat of atomization. That heat of atomization from top to bottom decreases. So the heat of atomization, see boys, the heat of atomization from beryllium to magnesium decreases considerably, but after that the decrease is very less. So that means no doubt heat of atomization decreases. For beryllium to magnesium, more value decrease. Magnesium onwards, the very, very few less value is decreased. So magnesium onwards, almost same metallic bond. Strength of the bond between the atoms is more almost same. A little decrease. But beryllium to magnesium, beryllium has strong metallic bonds. Because of strong metallic bonds, it is difficult to break that bonds. That is why more energy is required. That means highest atomization energy is applicable for beryllium. So this has highest heat of atomization. So highest heat of atomization means strong metallic bonds exist. That means between beryllium atoms, strong metallic bonds are there. That's why it is difficult to break. That means heat of atomization is the criteria to explain the strength of the metallic bond. Highest heat of atomization is applicable for beryllium. Therefore, so strength of a metallic bond is more for beryllium. This is clearly explained based on this heat of atomization, boys. So highest metallic bond is applicable for beryllium. Because of this reason, its melting and boiling points are very high. Its melting and boiling points are very, very. Some properties are affects this heat of atomization. So this metallic bond, boys. So therefore, so no doubt, top to bottom, heat of atomization decreases. That means bond strength decreases. But more for beryllium. So beryllium to magnesium, a large value decrease. After that, very well. So remaining almost similarities are there. So greatest strength, bond strength is applicable for beryllium. Greatest bond strength is applicable for beryllium. It is very, very important. Okay. Next. Maximum heat of atomization is applicable for beryllium. So therefore, largest metallic bond is greatest metallic bond strength is applicable for beryllium bonds. It is heat of atomization. Next, reducing property. Reducing property. What is this reducing property or reducing power? That means, no doubt, metals are good reducing agents. These are also metals, boys. Second A group elements are also metals. Okay. So, what are reducing agents? Itself, they are oxidized and others and acts as reducing agents. So, any species that can release electrons, so itself oxidized, automatically acts as reducing agent. These are also metals losing electrons. So, therefore, they are itself oxidized. Itself oxidized means acts as reducing agents. Always, our secondary metals are good reducing agents. Secondary metals are good reducing agents, but so reducing power from top to bottom. Boys, electron losing tendency from top to bottom increases or decreases? Electron losing tendency increases. Oxidizing tendency increases. Therefore, reducing power also increases. So therefore, but reducing power from top to bottom increases. Reducing power from top to bottom increases. That means electron losing tendency increases. Electron losing tendency increases. So reducing power of 1A metal is greater than that of reducing power of 2A metal, boys. That means 1A metals are ready to lose it because it loses only one electron. So by losing one electron, it gains octet configuration. That is why these are ready to lose electrons when compared to alkaline earth metals. That means electropositivity is highest for alkaline metals. So therefore, reducing property is also highest for alkaline metals. Therefore, reducing power is more for 1A group elements when compared to 2A group elements. But both are good reducing agents. Both 1A and 2A are good reducing agents. A little bit more for 1A group elements. A little bit more for 1A group elements. Next. Flame coloration. That is the 13th one. Flame coloration. See, boys. So this flame color already explained in our 1A group elements. So metal salt is taken, concentrated CL added drop by drop, make it paste and introduced in the flame. So flame color we observe. No doubt all alkaline group elements, all 1A group elements exhibit flame coloring. All 1A group elements exhibit flame coloring. But 2A group elements, first two elements, beryllium, magnesium doesn't exhibit flame coloring. Beryllium and magnesium doesn't exhibit flame coloring. Beryllium and magnesium doesn't exhibit flame color. Remaining three elements, calcium, strontium, barium exhibit flame color. Why, sir? Why beryllium and magnesium? Why beryllium and magnesium doesn't exhibit flame color? See here. So beryllium has no flame color in it. Beryllium has no flame color. But magnesium also has no flame color in it. But it burns in but it burns with white dazzling light. Having UV light radiation. Having UV radiation. Boys, actually, beryllium has no flame color. Magnesium also has no flame color. Beryllium and magnesium doesn't exhibit any flame color, but so beryllium, when introduced into the flame, so it burns in that flame, so it gives a white bright light. So that light also contains UV radiation. It is observed fact. So finally, flame color, it has no flame color, it has also no flame color. Okay, next, yes. So that's it, that is used in crackers, accepted. Next, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, and strontium, barium, and calcium, it has brick red color. Flame color is brick red. So next, strontium, that is crimson red. Strontium flame color is crimson red. Barium, light apple green. Light apple green. Green color, green apples are there. So light apple green, or sometimes yellow green may also you observe it. Yellow green. But frequently we are using light apple green, boys. So these are the flame colors. Why, sir? Why beryllium and magnesium doesn't exhibit flame colors? Why not? Doesn't exhibit? Because of small size. Because of small size, see here. So the reason for this is due to small size. Due to small size, the valency electrons are strongly attracted with this nucleus. That means valency electrons are not free to come out, not free to excite. So not free to excite valency electrons. Not free to excite valency electrons. Because of this reason, so these two doesn't have any flame color. Flame color is due to excitation of valency electrons. So those electrons gives different colors. So that excitation is not possible in case of beryllium and magnesium. Therefore, flame color is not observed, guys. Flame color is not observed. Okay. So this is very important. Calcium, brick red. Strontium, crimson red. Barium, light apple green. Barium, light apple green. So these are the flame colors we observe. So these tests are useful to find out, to identify the metal ions present in your given salt in lab, and in particular qualitative analysis. So these are some physical properties, boys. Now we are going towards some chemical properties of these metals. General chemical properties. See here. Chemical properties. Neelakanta, please wait. At last we will discuss. Chemical properties. Please down your hands. What are these chemical properties? So reaction with others. Okay. So see here, first one. Reaction with air. Reaction with air. Air means air is the combination of both oxygen and nitrogen. So reaction with air means, so reaction with oxygen and nitrogen both collectively, boys. So what happened when air reacts with these alkali metals? See here, that is beryllium and magnesium. So beryllium and magnesium, boys. Please note down this point very carefully. Not reacts with air. Not reacts with air. So why not? Due to the formation of due to the formation of a thin oxide layer on the surface of metals. Due to the formation of oxide layer, boys, at first they react, but so on the surface, because these are metals, solids, on its surface, oxide layer is formed. That oxide layer prevents further reaction of those metals. So whenever oxide layer is formed on the surface, automatically reactivity goes on, decreased. So that is why these are inactive towards air, inactive. At the beginning, active, but after a few seconds, it is inactive. So because of this reason, these are not directly reactive, but in powder stage, that means very small, minute granule particles are there in it. So that means in powder state, these are very, very active. So in powder state, these are react with air. Air means both oxygen and nitrogen. Directly not reacts, but powder metals are reaction. So see here, it is M is the alkaline, our alkaline earth metal. When it reacts with oxygen, that is from air, that gives MO type oxide is formed. Corresponding oxide is formed. So similarly, when it reacts with nitrogen, that is also from air, gives M3N2 type nitride is formed. So it is oxide, that is nitride. So that means when our alkali metal reacts with air, corresponding oxides and nitrides are the product side. If these oxides dissolved in water, that gives metal hydroxides are formed. It is strongly basic, soluble in water, therefore strong alkali. So that means these hydroxides have strong alkali in nature. So if these are nitrides, M3N2 dissolved in water, that gives respective hydroxides, MOH twice, and also to liberate ammonia gas. Plus. So very, very important reaction, number of times asked. Okay. So that means, so when reacts with air, so all the metals gives respect to oxides and nitrides. When they dissolve, gives corresponding alkalis. As nitrides when dissolved, releases ammonia gas. It is the reactivity, boys. Okay. So very, very important. Next one. So during this process, when metal reacts with air, weight of metal increases because of oxide formation. So weight of metal increases. Next property. Reaction with water. Second one, action with water, boys. Very, very important. Please observe clearly, observe carefully. See here, beryllium or magnesium. When reacts with cold water, boys. Please mind it. When it reacts with cold water, so no reaction takes place. So both beryllium and magnesium non-reacts with water and cold water. Why, sir? Why this? Because of oxide layer formation. So due to the formation of protective oxide layer. Due to the formation of protective oxide layer, this doesn't react with water, boys. But magnesium reacts with steam and water vapor. But magnesium reacts with steam and gives respective magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is evolved. So with cold water, no reaction, but with steam, magnesium reaction, but beryllium not reacts with steam also. Okay, so therefore magnesium reacts with the steam. That means, so reactivity of magnesium with towards water is very, very less. Very, very less. Next element, what is that? Calcium. When calcium reacts with water, no doubt cold water reacts any. So that gives a calcium hydroxide and releases hydrogen gas. But the reaction is a slow reaction, boys. So here with cold, no reaction. But here cold, slow reaction. After that, reactivity of that water with cold condition is also increases, boys. So both, that is magnesium, calcium, strontium with water, cold water, that gives strontium hydroxide and H2. It is fast. So therefore, reactivity. So what we observe? Reactivity with water increases down the group. Reactivity with water increases down the group. So it is what we observe, boys. Very, very important. Okay. So beryllium magnesium not reacts. So with steam it reacts. So with cold water reactivity increases down the group. Next one. Reaction with acids. Please, very, very, very important point of. So we will discuss. So that is reaction with acids. Third one, action with acids. Boys, under this heading, we will discuss about the reactivity of the acid HCl, H2SO4 and HNO3 only. Under dilute conditions and concentrated conditions, what happens? So under dilute conditions and concentration conditions, what happened? See here, that is first one with HCl. With HCl, so that is with both dilute and concentrated HCl, both dilute and concentrated HCl, these metals gives hydrogen gas. With both dilute and concentrated HCl, see here, our metal reacts with dilute HCl, gives metal chloride plus hydrogen gas is released. So same, metal reacts with concentrated HCl, that gives metal chloride plus hydrogen gas. So these are very, very important, boys. So our alkali metals, when reacts with both dilute HCl and concentrated HCl, always releases hydrogen gas. Always releases hydrogen gas. Now what happened in case of concentrated H2SO4? So see here, that is, I am taking H2SO4, boys. I am taking H2SO4. That is, our metal, M is the 2A metal, boys. Every 2A metal reacts with dilute H2SO4, that gives respect to sulfate plus hydrogen gas is liberated. So with dilute H2SO4 also hydrogen gas is liberated, boys. So what is this M? M is nothing but every second A metal. Every second A metal, whatever it may be the metal, dilute H2SO4, that is metal sulfate and hydrogen gas is liberated. Now, when this metal reacts with concentrated H2SO4, so that means the percentage of H2SO4 is very, very high. That gives metal sulfate plus H2O plus SO2 gas is evolved, not hydrogen, boys. SO2 gas, please balance yourself. So I'm writing only reactants and production. Please balance yourself. So here hydrogen gas with dilute H2SO4, hydrogen gas is released. With constant H2SO4, SO2 gas is released. All these are facts. We are observed these conditions. Why and why not? There is no reason for it. So with H2, it is dilute H2SO4, hydrogen gas is liberated. With constant H2SO4, SO2 gas is released. SO2 gas is released. Next, with HNO3, with HNO3. Okay, so that is only magnesium gives, only magnesium gives hydrogen gas with dilute HNO3. No other metal gives that hydrogen gas, boys. Only magnesium gives hydrogen gas with, that is magnesium reacts with HNO3, gives magnesium nitrate plus H2 gas is released. Respect to nitrate plus H2 gas is released, boys. So it is with dilute HNO. So no other metal, beryllium and remaining elements. So no metal gives this reaction. Next, that is with concentrated HNO3. With concentrated HNO3, beryllium with concentrated HNO3 becomes passive. What is that passive? I will explain it. Becomes passive due to the formation of protective oxide layering. So due to the formation of protective oxide layer. So what is this passive, sir? Passive means at the beginning when when the concentrated HNO3 added to beryllium, automatically at the beginning reaction is there. Some reaction takes place. But after a few seconds, the reactivity slope goes on, decreases, and finally inactive state, non-reactive state. Reaching of non-reactive state after initial condition, more reactive. That is called as passive, just like you and me. What's that? So when you are joining in your chain of group, at the beginning days, so no doubt I'm trying to give more and more perfect marks. So that is what we thought in. Am I correct or wrong, boys? You are assuming like that or not? Tell me. At the beginning of these classes, we feel no sir. So gatam gataha. So we are trying my level best in our intermediate size. So now what about today? What about today? Is the same? Is there or a little bit decrease? Is the same or a little bit decrease? Tell me your opinion. No doubt any. So automatically you are decreasing. That means your activeness decreasing and finally goes to 0. So not boys. So don't go like that. So we are very active, but generally students' activity grows and decreases. That gradual decrease in reactivity, activity is called as passivity. Now we are going to be passive. At the beginning we are active, but now it is inactive. That state is called as passivity. Here also, beryllium with constant HNO3 is a passive value. That means at the beginning, reactivity is there, a thin oxide layer is formed. Because of that, it is going on inactive state. So beryllium is rendered passive with concentrated HNO3. Next, but other metals. So metal, so it is other than beryllium. Other than beryllium with concentrated HNO3 gives respect to nitrate plus water plus NO2 gas is released. NO2 gas is released. Okay. So this is important, boys. Nitrate, water, and NO2 gas is released with constant HNO3, boys. Beryllium is passive, but other elements with constant HNO3, NO2 gas is released. NO2 gas with H2SO4. So only second dilute H2SO4 gives hydrogen, and constant H2SO4 gives SO2 gas. SO2. So dilute and constant HCl both gives hydrogen gas and hydrogen gas. Please keep in mind. Please keep in mind. All these are very, very, very important, boys. All these are very, very important. Next, reaction with bases. Next one. Reaction with bases. See here, our alkali metals, alkaline earth metals, so no doubt highly reducing power, boys, almost basic in nature. Because these are basic, these are not reacts with other bases. Because itself these are basic, itself these have basic nature. But beryllium, it is exceptional case, no doubt. Once again, anomalous property, beryllium. Every group first element differently behaves. No doubt here also, beryllium differently behaves, boys. So beryllium has amphoteric nature. It has both acidic nature and basic nature. That is why beryllium only reacts with NaOH like bases. So no other metal reacts with bases. So because beryllium is amphoteric in nature. See here, only beryllium reacts with alkali as it has amphoteric nature. As it has amphoteric nature. What is the meaning of amphoteric? It has both acidic nature and basic nature is there. When it reacts with bases, it is acts as acid. When it reacts with acids, it acts as base. So now beryllium reacts with NaOH, that gives Na2BeO2 plus hydrogen gas. So the same reaction we completed at the time of NaOH was reaction with metals. Okay, so beryllium is one of the metals, boys. So we covered that equation also in NaOH properties. Please recall that. So when only beryllium reacts with NaOH gives sodium berylate and liberates hydrogen gas. So that releases hydrogen gas. Sodium berylate. So that is other metals plus NaOH, no reaction. Other metals plus NaOH gives no reaction. Okay, next. Reaction with non-metals. Reaction with non-metals. Reaction with non-metals. That is fifth property. Okay. So one by one, boys, please note down the equations. One by one. Not possible, boys. That is alloy. Physical interaction is possible between metal and metal, but not chemical interaction. So that physical interaction is alloy formation. Okay. Now, action with non-metals. Action with non-metals. Now see here, first one, with hydrogen. With hydrogen is a non-metal. I'm taking sequential reactions. So hydrogen, boys. So beryllium with hydrogen, no direct reaction. No direct reaction. But other metals reacts directly with hydrogen and gives respect to hydrides. Magnesium plus hydrogen gives magnesium hydride. So calcium with hydrogen gives calcium hydride, hydrolytic boys. So these are hydrides. These hydrides are possible. Beryllium not directly reacts with hydrogen. It is the anomalous property of beryllium. Next, reaction with boron. With hydrogen, hydrides are formed. With boron, borides are formed. See here. So our magnesium reacts with boron. Every 2A metal like this gives Mg3b2 boys. Magnesium third group element. So it is -3, it is +2. So combination boys. So don't like this. So beryllium is heated with boron, that gives, it is boride. Boride is the productant. Respective boride is the metal product. Metal borides are the productant. It is possible. Next, reaction with carbon. So it is hydrogen. Next, third group elements. Next, fourth group elements. Next, fifth group elements. After that, sixth group elements. We will do seventh group elements sequentially. So with the carbon boys. Okay. So that is our metal with carbon is heated strongly, gives Mc2 type carbides. Mc2 type carbides boys. Mc2 type carbides. See here, example. So that is when calcium reacts with carbon, so that gives calcium carbide boys. So this calcium carbide, see, this formed calcium carbide on hydrolysis gives CaOH twice, calcium hydroxide, and releases CH triple bond CH boys. What is this? Acetylene, which is nothing but acetylene boys. So that is why these carbides are called as acetylides. Already we completed at the time of reaction with water. Acetylides. So that means acetylides are the products boys. Respective carbides are the products. But beryllium differently behaves. That gives methane. Methanide is the product. Beryllium is differently behaves. So at the time we will discuss boys. So now it is a general concepts. So calcium carbide is formed. That calcium carbide during hydrolysis gives acetylene. That's why these are called as, these carbides are called as acetylides. These are considered as acetylides. Okay. This is reaction with carbon. Next, reaction with silicon. So similar to carbon. See here. What is that? Our metal reacts with silicon. So this is silicon. It is -4. It is +2. Therefore, it is M2Si. M2Si type compounds. M2Si, which is called as silicide. Silicide compounds are formed. Respective silicides. So first year hydrogen is completed. Next, second one, what is that? Second group is all metals. We are in second group. Third group, boron, borides. Fourth group, carbon and silicon. With carbon, carbides. With silicon, silicides. Next, fifth group is nitrogen and phosphorus boys. So these nitrogen with nitrogen gives nitrides. With phosphorus gives phosphides. Already we completed those. That is with nitrogen. Our second A group element reacts with nitrogen, gives M3N2 type nitride is the product. M2N3 type nitrides. This nitride during hydrolysis gives metal hydroxide and releases ammonia gas. Metal hydroxide and releases ammonia gas, boys. I'm writing at the bottom because light is there. Ammonia gas also releases. So that means with nitrogen, nitrite, metal nitride is the product. Those nitrites gives, on hydrolysis gives ammonia. Similar to nitrogen, phosphorus also. See here. So with phosphorus and P4, when metal reacts with P4, that gives M3P2 type phosphide end. M2P3P2 type phosphide is the product. Please balance it. So during hydrolysis, so it is hydrolyzed, so automatically it gives metal hydroxide and PH3 gas. What is this PH3 gas? Which is a phosphine. Phosphine gas is released. So that is ammonia gas. This is phosphine gas. Nitrites gives ammonia. Phosphides gives phosphine on hydrolysis. So like this, nitrogen and phosphorus are reaction feature. So nitrogen and phosphorus. Next, reaction with oxides, boys. So there is 16th group elements. 16th group elements. So reaction with oxygen. So reaction with that is our metal. See, boys, what are those metals? Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, boys. So beryllium reacts with oxygen gives 2BeO. Beryllium oxide is the product. Similarly, magnesium with oxygen gives 2MgO. These are called as monoxides. So that means beryllium and magnesium when reacts with oxygen gives only monoxides and only monoxides. But remaining elements when reacts with oxygen gives corresponding peroxides. So what is that? CaO2, that is SrO2 and BaO2. Corresponding peroxides. These are the peroxides, boys. Peroxides are the products. That means our alkali metals when reacts with oxygen, so first two elements gives only monoxides because of small size, and second remaining three elements gives peroxides. No superoxides are formation here. No superoxides formation. So it is calcium peroxide, strontium peroxide, barium peroxide. These are used at the time of hydrogen peroxide preparation, boys. So this is reaction with phosphorus. Next, reaction with sulfur, same 16th group element. So reaction with sulfur. Our metal reacts with sulfur gives metal sulfide. Metal sulfide. So metal has +2, sulfur has -2. That is just like MO. It is MS. Metal sulfide is the product. Metal sulfide. This metal sulfide on hydrolysis. Gives respect to hydroxide, metal hydroxide plus H2S gas is evolved. Metal hydroxide and H2S gas is evolved. So this is hydrogen sulfide gas, boys. It has rotten egg smell in it. That metal hydroxide, that is H2S, has rotten egg smell. That is important, boys. So a rotten egg smell gas is released. Whenever a rotten egg smell gas is there, that should be H2SN. That gas is released here. Next, when reaction with halogens, our 17th group elements. When it reacts with halogens, whatever it may be the metal, when it reacts with halogen, that gives metal halides. So it is 2A metal, boys. Every 2A metal, it is chlorine, bromine, iodine, whatever it may be. That gives respect to metal halides are the products. Metal halides. So boys, these are all some non-metal reactions. Reaction with non-metals. These are our second year group elements are metals. So these are all non-metals. Every non-metal reacts with these metals gives respect to corresponding compounds. Some of them during hydrolysis gives other compounds. Those are also valuable products. Okay. So this is about non-metal reactions. And next, complex forming ability. See here. Sixth one, complex formation. Complex formation, boys. When an element can form, a metal can form complex. First one, small size. So that is conditions, boys. Conditions. First one, small size. No doubt, our alkaline earth metals have small size than 1A group elements. Next, more charge. No doubt, alkaline metals have +1 charge, but now second-A group elements have +2 charge. No doubt, more charge. Next, availability of empty orbitals. So these are also possible in our second-A group elements, boys. Second-A group elements. That means when compared to first-A group elements, these are small in size. When compared to first-A group elements, these have more size. So these elements also already have d orbitals, empty d orbitals. That is why. So complex forming ability, complex formation is more for second-A elements than that of 1A group elements. That means complex forming ability is highest for second-A group elements and when compared to first-A group elements because of the small size conditions. See here. So coordination number of first element, that is beryllium, in complexes mostly 4 and mostly not 4. So coordination number of others is either 6 or 2. Coordination number of other elements. So during complex formation, either 6 or 2 i's. So this complex formation is mainly used to estimate for the determination of calcium and magnesium ions present in your hard water, boys. No doubt, hardness of water is due to bicarbonates, chlorides, sulfates of calcium and magnesium. No doubt, hard water contains calcium and magnesium ions. These calcium and magnesium ions are determined, estimated with the help of this complex formation with EDTA. EDTA titrations are there, boys. So see here, that is magnesium and calcium present in hard water. Present in hard water can be determined by forming complex with EDTA. By forming complex with EDTA. What is this EDTA? EDTA is nothing but ethylene diamine tetraacetate. So this is EDTA, boys. Ethylene diamine tetraacetate. It is its structure. So CH2. It is ethylene, boys. Actually double bond there. So ethylene, that is diamine. It is ethylene diamine. It is ethylene diamine. NH2 is amine. So 2 NH2 diamine. So these NH2 groups are replaced with acetate ions. That is CH2 COO minus. CH2 COO minus. Here also these two hydrogens are replaced. That is CH2 COO minus. It is also CH2 COO minus. Similar to that. Okay, no double bond. That double bond is replaced with 2 amine groups. That double bond is replaced with 2 amine groups. Why it is? See here. So this is one electron pair donating group. It is another electron pair. So here also nitrogen has lone pair. It is nitrogen has lone pair. So this is donor site. This is donor site. This is donor site. This is also donor site. That means one is EDTA can give 6 electron pairs at a time. That's why it is hexadentate like this. It is an example to hexadentate. So one EDTA gives 6 coordinate covalent bonds with the metal ion. So number of coordinate covalent bonds formed by a single unit ligand is called as dentasy. So one gives six coordinate covalent bonds twice. 6 coordinate. That is why it is exact. No need of this. Please mind it. So EDTA means a complex forming agent. A complex forming agent like this. Okay. So now this complex forming ability from top to bottom decreases because size increases. That for complex forming ability from top to bottom decreases because size increases. Because size increases twice. So this is about complex formation. About complex formation. So no doubt when compared to first A group elements, second A group elements are ready to form complex compounds. Ready to form complex compounds. Okay. So next one and last one for today's class, that is solution of seventh one. Solution of alkaline earth metals in liquid ammonia, just like in 1A group elements. Solution of alkaline earth metals in liquid ammonia. Solution of alkaline earth metals in liquid ammonia. So already the concept we covered in alkali metals, boys, similar to here. Similar concept is also applicable here, boys. See here, when our alkaline metal dissolved in liquid ammonia, what happens? No doubt, ammoniated cations and ammoniated electrons are no doubt possible according to similar to our alkali metals, boys. See here, when our alkali metal dissolved in ammonia, first of all converts into M+2 ion and 2 electrons. This M+2 ion, so with liquid ammonia, X moles ammonia gives M NH3 X times plus 2 ion. This is ammoniated metal ion. Ammoniated metal ion, that is cation. Next, electron, the released electron reacts with Y moles ammonia, that gives, so electron with ammonia Y times with minus N. This is ammoniated electrons. Just like our alkali metals, here also alkaline earth metals also dissolved in ammonia gives respective electrons. These electrons, these ammoniated electrons are responsible for reducing property, boys. So these electrons are responsible for reducing property. Overall, the reaction is like this. When metal dissolved in X plus 2Y times ammonia, that gives MnH3 X times plus 2 ion plus 2 into electrons. Electrons with NH3 Y times minus ion, boys. Ammoniated metal ion and ammoniated electrons are possible. So because of this ammoniated electrons, these solutions are also colored in nature. Magnesium is blue in color because of these ammoniated electrons, boys. Ammoniated electrons. See here what happened. So That is, it is plus 2. It is plus 2. The solutions of calcium, strontium, barium on evaporation form hexaammoniates. Hexaammoniates, nothing but CaNaH3 6 times a compound is formed. Similarly, strontium NaH3 6 times a compound is formed. Barium NaH3 6 times a compound is formed, boys. So this means hexaammoniates are formed. But on standing, these are decomposed. On standing, these are decomposed, boys, and decomposed to respective amides. So decomposed to CO NaH2 twice. This is amide of calcium amide plus ammonia plus H2 gas. 4NaH3 plus H2 gas. Hydrogen gas is liberated, boys. So this is calcium amide. Respect to amide is the product, boys. Respect to amide is the product. Okay. Similarly, magnesium also. So magnesium amide NaH2 as strong as KNaH2, boys. Potassium amide is very, very strong base. As strong as KH2 basic nature. So boys, KNH2, potassium amide, is a very strong base. So almost that much strength is possible here also. Almost that much strength is possible also. So this solution has blue in color, boys. So this solution also blue in color. Okay. So these are all about ammoniated solutions, boys. Ammoniated solutions. Okay. So this is some chemical properties. Tomorrow we will discuss compounds of our alkaline earth metals. Hydrides, chlorides, nitrates, all those. So tomorrow we will discuss. Boys, so my request, please note down. So in your integrated book, page number 71, there is a tabular form, boys. In your integrated book, so tabular form is there in page number 71. That is elements, ores, and their formula. Element, ores, and their formula. See here. Page number 71. See here, boys. Yes. So this is the tabular form. Please copy this tabular form and also by heart it. Every metal, its ore and formula. Number of times in our objective side. So these bits are appeared. So please try to by heart. So no doubt, please copy this tabular form in your notebook also. Please copy this tabular form in your notebook also. Okay.